Hear a special address by Her Excellency Olena Zelenska, First Lady of Ukraine.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to participate here today. So, dear attendees, esteemed heads of government, I would like to thank, first of all, the Italian government and Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni for organizing this and hosting this year conference here in Italy. Thank you for your genuine concern and for your commitment, because today we're discussing not only the fate of Ukraine, but the fate of the entire region. I want to tell something about the destruction, because destruction is not only a physical concept, it is also a social one, manifesting as a hardship, security threats and mental distress. It can spread far beyond the battlefield and affect everyone. And it already has. For all these recent months, precisely as long as Russia has been stalling negotiations, the aggressor has been shelling Ukraine with particular cruelty night after night. And last night, unfortunately, was no exception. In June alone, can you imagine, in June alone, Russia launched more than 330 missiles, alongside nearly 80 ballistic ones, over 5,000 combat drones, and 5,000 aerial bombs at Ukrainian cities. The scale of destruction is difficult to describe. Yet those among our international partners who recently visited Kyiv and saw apartment buildings shattered by ballistic strikes say that they have never seen anything like this. A gaping void where floors once stood, where people once lived. In 2 residential buildings in the capital destroyed this June, more than 30 lives were lost. And nothing will bring back these people, these parents, these children, these families, their unique lives taken by the aggressor. Today I want to emphasize this above all else. What matters most in rebuilding any country is its people. Buildings without people, enterprises without people, a country without people, that is not a country, it's a memorial. In Ukraine, we have learned this through pain, and we would not wish such suffering on anyone. And so, amid fierce defense, we have made saving lives our top priority, in every sense, physical, social, and mental. Our principle is restore the individual, and they will restore everything else, only in that order. Thank you. Today, our experts will share the details of how this principle is being implemented across the recovery agenda. Allow me to briefly highlight a few areas in which I am personally involved. Mental health recovery. When a building is destroyed, what remains is not only rubble and graves. There are also hundreds of people living grief, relatives, friends, and many, many more living in anxiety and fear, knowing they could be next. According to the latest sociological studies, more than 80% of Ukrainians are living in a chronic state of stress and emotional strain. We have many internet memes about this, sad ones, of course. The kind where after yet another shelling, people write in work chats, survived, so I'm going to go to work today. Our economy continues to function thanks to millions of people who go to work after spending their nights in basements. But in those moments, the main emotions they carry are fatigue, tension, and despair. Already in the first months of the Russian invasion, Ukraine responded to this challenge with the All Ukrainian Mental Health Program, How Are You?, which I patronize. It is a full support system in which all ministers, regions, and communities are involved and work in coordination. It is a network of services where various mental health service providers know about one another, because only in this way can a person avoid getting lost in their search for help. The key principle, mental health in all sectors and all policies, is now enshrined in law, signaling that change is irreversible. Right now, it is critically important for Ukraine not to lose momentum and to continue backing changes in state policies in this area. Much effort is also being directed towards scaling up to ensure that mental health services reach every community, and this requires support from partners. The key actor in this field is the Coordination Center of Mental Health under the Cabinet of the Ministers of Ukraine. Its representatives are part of the Ukrainian delegation here, and they are ready to respond to any of your requests and questions. When people arrive at hospitals after another Russian strike, they suffer severe injuries, blast wounds, burns, crushed limbs. Saving their lives alone is not enough. We must help them live fully again. Therefore, today, we have 11,000 rehabilitation specialists working across the country, 7 times more than in 2022. In just the last year and a half, they have helped 600,000 Ukrainians. This is also the result of state policy. Our specialists have the opportunity to learn from colleagues in the world's best clinics, for which we are deeply grateful to those clinics and to your countries. But our own expertise has also grown to the point where we can share it. For this purpose, Ukraine has launched a medical partnership that direct international cooperation between medical institutions. I invite you to join and thank those who have already become part of it. Education. You may have seen the headlines. Ukraine now has fully functioning underground schools. It's true. We have already built 15 underground schools out of 200 planned. Russia deliberately targets our educational institutions, having already destroyed 394 facilities and damaged over 3,500. I want to especially thank every international partner who helps us provide education to children and welcome the International Alliance supporting the transformation of early childhood education in Ukraine, First Steps Forward, which will be established on the sidelines of the URC today. In the early months of our defense, when Ukraine made the important decision to preserve education for our children, we also made another crucial choice: to continue the school nutrition reform. We are probably the only country implementing such a reform during wartime. But precisely in times like this, a quality school lunch becomes more than just a meal. It is also an expression of care, a form of social protection, and a support for the entire family. I have the honor of patronizing this project, a project about more than just food, about dignity and opportunities. The reform team has already modernized over 1,000 school kitchens, and more than 6,000 school cooks have been trained to prepare meals according to updated health standards. Every day, more than 1.5 million Ukrainian children receive free hot meals at school. Our healthy eating campaign has reached over 7 million Ukrainians because we believe that by cultivating healthy habits from childhood, we shape a healthy nation. Our goal is that by 2027, every child has daily access to high-quality, healthy food. To achieve this, Ukraine still needs 6,000 modernized kitchen facilities and 12,000 trained cooks. I invite you all those who feel connected to this to join us. And I also invite everyone to literally taste the reform. For the second year in a row, we present in a school meal show kitchen here at the URC. You're welcome. Barrier-free Ukraine is another humanitarian reform that Ukraine is carrying out under fire. I initiated it 5 years ago, but it has become especially relevant at this moment. It concerns everyone: the wounded, the disabled, the elderly, children, caregivers, and those suffering psychological trauma, because it is about equality in mobility, in opportunity, even in communication. Over these years, we have introduced European standards of accessibility in construction and digital space. Each ministry leads flagship projects to enhance access to education, work, and mobility. You will hear more about this in detail today. But I want to say, war is not just a slowdown. It pushes up backward. It is always regression. So we need to defend not only against attack, but also to hold back regression. As Lewis Carroll said, it takes all the running you can do to stay the same place. Literally, even new strike increases the need for inclusive services. That is why we value your help so much. Thank you. Our special expectations today is the signing of Ukraine's associated memberships in the ESF+. The gender panel at the, access to this EU structural fund will allow us to create new initiatives for education and employment and to update labor legislation. Now, with your support, we are taking a step toward a social Europe where people, their rights, security, and well-being are at the center. Gender equality. This panel will address the issue of women as their rights and needs present a distinct challenge. Today in Ukraine, 2/3 of women with young children cannot return to work due to the current state of childcare infrastructure. At the same time, women are entering fields once dominated by men in manufacturing, logistics, and the military. Most of our social workers and entrepreneurs are women. They represent a powerful, active force that needs the right conditions to thrive. The gender panel at the URC will showcase real examples of how women, including veterans, entrepreneurs, and local leaders, are already leading recovery efforts. It is crucial that the Alliance of Countries and Organizations for Gender-Responsive and Inclusive Recovery continues to support them and helps make their efforts visible, influential, and effective. Equal opportunities, education, mental health, rehabilitation, and fulfilling childhood, all these topics I have just mentioned are also at the heart of the Olena Zelenska Foundation's work. This is another way to help Ukraine recover on a human level by supporting real people, and in our case, especially children. I'll be glad to meet with you at our stand here and share more details. Italian politician Alcide De Gasperi, who once stood against fascism, said that the future is built by the hands of those who are free from hesitation. Ukrainians facing constant threats to their lives simply have no time for hesitation. We set aside all hesitation until peaceful times. And now we act. This, by the way, is one of the mental practices that helps us to hold on. We must act, even when scared, even when it's dangerous, seeing other people, their needs, and helping them. This is the best way to get distracted from fears and anxiety, tested by Ukraine. So I ask you, in all your important and valuable projects, to put people first, those who will work with it, use it, and live with it. Just as our computer browser asks us to verify that we are not robots, we must ask ourselves, is what we do humane? I'm confident that if everyone follows the rule, people first, the world will become a better place for each of us, no matter which country we live in. Thank you.
We thank Madam Zelenska. Now the first plenary session is over.